All right, so we're getting ready to start some exciting school time with our School of Fish because we learned from fishing this morning that fish actually work together in a school. So I got my little man and we're going to teach this School of Fish what it's like to be a person. And we're going to talk about Personality Plus, which is a book that's in our life system. And we are super thrilled to be doing this because we're learning about this, so we need to learn to understand it. And so that's really what I'm trying to do, is just to understand it by pretending like I'm actually going to be teaching about this, which is my goal to someday be able to do. But what I imagine is being able to do this three-dimensionally. So I'm trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to do that, because what I'm imagining is what it must be like to be in each different personality quadrant. Well, let's put the quadrants in here. So we've got choleric, a C, melancholy, phlegmatic, and sanguine. Woohoo! Fired up. So we've got all our different people here. And for a melancholy,
hey, Dad,
he's happiest in this.
Oh
no, one of the school children's fishing pole boat. Well, can you just use a string while Daddy works, bub? Because this is school time and the teacher's teaching. Okay, thank you, buddy. So the melancholy exists in this quadrant, right? And in order to be more improved, right, in order to combat some of the weaknesses that come with being a melancholy, which is very melancholy and we're not very exciting, we're not very woohoo, we've got to try to pull ourselves into being more sanguine. So we've got this pull where we need to go that way, right? And we're really actually trying to push ourselves that way, but our natural tendencies are actually pulling us back this way and trying to keep us from being that, because we still want to be task focused. And there's a challenge with getting tasks done when you have to involve people, which the people side of the business is over here. Right? And I am a choleric melancholy, so I'm going to kind of speak from my perspective and my point of view and what the struggles I'm going through in life, and trying to turn my life into a business, right? And be in the business of life, of living life. And so as a cleric, again, I want to exist in this quadrant where I'm goal-oriented and I'm focused and I'm not worrying so much about people. I'm focused on my task and I'm getting my goals accomplished. But I need to learn to be a little more peaceful. So I really want to try to pull myself or push myself, depending on how you look at that, into this phlegmatic quadrant a little bit more. And not only that, but you really want to be able to do that so that we can understand one another. You know, I've got to be able to step over here to this quadrant to be able to perceive what it's like to be phlegmatic. So I can understand what it's like to not be able to make a decision about things and some of their weaknesses, so I can learn how to be a better leader and overcome those. So we've always got this push and pull, and the inverse is true for there. Phlegmatics need to be a little more choleric-y, and sanguines need to learn to be a little more melancholy, right? And keep their keys. And my favorite story from Personality Plus is, that she's in the parking lot and she has her keys to 2 vehicles, but knows not which vehicle she brought to the mall. And I just think that's a perfect analogy for every sanguine I've ever met. So anyway, so that's kind of the idea. And I'm always wanting to do things different because I'm cleric and I want to correct everything and improve upon it. I want to make this three-dimensional, and I'd love to be able to create a three-dimensional representation of what it's like and to be pulled back and forth in these things, and to be trying to push forward to be more sanguine, to get rid of my negative melancholy traits, and vice versa. Be a little more phlegmatic for my choleric, and then that brings me onto the people-oriented side of things. But it's so important to me to get tasks done because I'm so task-oriented that it's very, very difficult, obviously, to move on the other side of the line. And what's cool is we can take the ESB quadrant, the cash flow quadrant, right? And then we can kind of do the same thing. In order to pull ourselves over to get into this B quadrant, to get away from left side thinking and to get over to right side thinking, and to be able to have the skills and the talents that we need to be able to be successful in a B quadrant business, we have to pull ourselves out of our comfort zones in our personality to be able to pull ourselves out of the comfort zone of the 95%er thinking. Okay? Because we really want 5% thinking, which develops people through systems rather than tasks through just get it done, managing the process, telling people what to do, and that sort of thing. So you can see where, us poor folks over here, we've got it so tough, but we really don't have it any tougher than the phlegmatics and the sanguines, because they have to learn to be more task-oriented. Because, yeah, you can have a lot of business people skills, but if you can't get anything done, if you don't have some ability to set goals and accomplish some things, then you're not going to be able to lead people because you're not leading to anything. You're not getting anything done, right? So anyway, you get the point. And so, anyway, that's really it. I mean, you could go into it. I could tell some really great stories and find some great segues and everything, and that's the goal long term, is to be able to speak for an hour about this. But really, I just kind of wanted to put that together to get it out of my head and get it into a video so that I can put it in the Adventures of Conrad von Supertramp, because we are now in version 2.0, and that is very, very exciting. The quest for excellence. And so we're going to be sharing some of our learning and the principles in our quest for excellence and where we get it. And if you're interested and you're watching this right now and you're like, well, hey, how can I learn about these books that he's talking about, and what's this cash flow quadrant, and what is this guy even rambling on about, then man, we'd love to get a hold of you or find somebody near you, attend an open. There's some great information out there, and I'll put up a link to the life business so that way people can go to it and check it out and see what I'm talking about. And if it looks like it's something that's for you or interesting for you, shoot me an email, find somebody in your town that's in it. Whatever works for you, just make sure that you're pursuing something. And in the University of Freedom, what we like to teach, because right now you're in our University of Freedom where we're teaching from what we're learning, and you're getting it for free, is that you can do anything you want. All you have to do is set your mind for it. And all the information you really need is out there for free. You just have to learn how to go after it. So if you're over here and you're a people person, you need to come over here and get some tasks done and go after some information. And if you're over here, you need to go after some information that's going to help you improve over there. You guys have a great day. And this is Conrad von Supertramp again. And I wanted to just share a little bit of how we turn simple everyday activities into the lessons that we're learning from our life business and the things that we're doing and the studying that we're doing since becoming involved with that. So today, just kind of a scenario of today, how it went, and how the tools have come into play. I wake up in the morning and my wife had done a great job. She had done Bible study in the morning because that's our faith piece and that's important with our son. And I'd been up late working, so I slept in a little bit. And then she was doing imagination time with him, and I get up, and my goal is I put in a CD, and I put in a conflict resolution CD, and we start fighting, right? Because we're both clerics, so my wife and I start fighting a little bit, and then we're listening to the conflict resolution in the background, so I'm getting punched in the head from behind with great information saying, hey, dummy, quit being rude to your wife. And so anyway, so we're able to take some of the stuff I'm listening to and we're listening to in the conflict resolution CD, because I'm like, hey, we're having some conflict, and apply it instantly to the immediate situation to resolve some planning and how we manage our free time. It's a challenge when all your time is free. See, I'm so blessed because I'm already on the right side of the quadrant, cash flow quadrant, when it comes to my time. What I don't have of that piece is wealth, because what Robert Kiyosaki talks about is you have to have wealth and time. You can't just have time, and you can't just have wealth. So I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, but I worked pretty hard, and I did a lot of things to make sure that I would have this system of income set up for me. But I'm also living that 45-year plan just a little bit early. I got to do it in 30 years, which is kind of cool. Actually, a little bit under 30 years. It was like 27 years. But I'm living on a half to a third of not even the most I ever made, less than the most I ever made. And so again, we got all the time in the world, but not all the money. So we got really good at cramming our dreams down into, or our wants down into our income circle, because we didn't have the good information of how to expand our income or the tools or the system available to expand our income to meet our wants. So since getting in this, we've really been able to turn it up a notch. I was so blessed to stumble into some great information before this system came along. And so we turned it up a notch. We'd had some plans. We'd had some goals. I'd been working on teaching people goal setting and planning because I'd done some project planning work in my corporate experience. And I wanted to turn that into an S-type business to get me off of Social Security, because I didn't think that a 30-year-old man should be living on disability. When your brain still functions, you can still work in today's age. My body from the neck down may not be able to do as much because my heart's limited physically of how much it can pump out and let my body do, but my brain can do as much as I want. I can sit still. I could be a quadriplegic, and I could still be a genius, right? Stephen Hawking is a perfect example of a guy that maximizes those 40 billion neurons in his subconscious mind and minimizes his energy outlay to his body to be able to maximize the energy outlay of his mind. So anyway, I'm kind of off track a little bit, but we're able to constantly, daily bring the information we're leading into our interaction with our son and into our interactions with each other, and learning how to manage our time together, because now we're going off to another country. We're going to Costa Rica, which is extremely exciting, but we need to be able to have some systematic function of our time so that we know, no matter what country we're in, what part of the world we're in, these things are important to us, and we apply our 24-hour puzzle to make sure that they fit in those important things, big rocks first, into that 24 hours that we're each blessed with. Because every day is definitely a blessing. I mean, you want to talk about life and its blessings, being alive and having another 24 hours is an awesome blessing. And if you're not able to squeeze out time or to put time towards the things that are most important to you, like family and having imagination time with your son and doing some of the goofy things that we get to do, because we do have a lot of blessings of our time to be free from somebody else telling us what to do with it. You have to be here in order to earn enough money to pay your rent and things like that. I'm blessed to have health issues that allow me to receive an income that I invested in. I worked since I was 7 years old and paid into Social Security since I was 13. So I paid in for 20 plus years to have my retirement early. But I didn't expect to live very long either. So anyway, and we're able to, because my wife, and going back to this, my wife is phlegmatic, and I think she's definitely a little more sanguine than she thinks she is. Even though I tested her and she still came out highly phlegmatic and pretty choleric-y. So she's definitely got some of this upper quadrant thing going on there. And then I am just totally right here. I don't all task and no people. So we have some conflict, obviously, right? So until I can learn how to lead my wife and be a good leader in my own home, I really can't expect a big team. And so then I sit down, and the first thing I do this morning, I'm reading an article that one of my upline leaders, Mr. Raymond Abernathy, who's just a phenomenal leader and was really instrumental in making me put away my ego and allow myself to put away the University of Freedom a little bit to come and learn from the life business and the life leadership. So I'm very thankful to him. So I'm definitely going to read his articles and keep up with what he's saying and doing and keep up with my team. And so then I'm applying that to the work that I'm doing, and I'm just learning how to do the whole Conrad von Supertramp thing, and write my books and do the movies and do all the things that I set about to do, but still apply all the principles that I'm learning now just to be more efficient and more effective at it, because I got tasks I got to get done, I got goals I got to achieve. But in that process, I definitely have to learn to come over on the other side of the quadrant. So I like to learn to teach myself. And then hopefully someday, scratch that, I know someday I will be able to stand on the stage in the life business and as a leader of this team and be able to help guide other people and to share my experiences with them. And we just learn how to apply it quickly and efficiently, so we'll see that success right away. And I get my time to spend with this handsome little guy. Can you say hi? And he is drawing a beautiful picture. Can you show everybody your beautiful picture that you're doing, Roland? Oh, let's show everybody that awesome picture. Look at that picture Roland drew. That is so amazing. And I see it's such a blessing to have your free time. So if you're on a team or somebody's approached you about the life business and you just don't know what to do, yeah, you can see yourself again, buddy. Can you come over here and crawl up on Dad's leg? That'd be easier. So the fun things you can do when you have free time are tremendous. And luckily, because of the financial training that we received in the life business, we have the financial freedom to do some more things that we would like to do that before we didn't think we were able to do on our fixed income. That's another beautiful thing about being in the life business is you can have the freedom like I have being on disability. You've got a system of income coming in where you don't have to go to work every day, but you still get to ramp up your income. And that's what's so cool about this business. You can increase that income flow to meet those wants rather than worry, well, it's fixed, it's static, it never changes, it never grows, it never helps me do anything else. So this is what freedom looks like. This is Conrad von Supertramp. Yeah, that's Daddy's pacemaker. And this has been a University of Freedom adventure of Conrad.